Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Hafizullah Abdullah, and today I will present on my family project with the title Wireless Authentication Mechanism for Bookkeeping System using Radius Architecture. I am from group CS245 and my supervisor is Dr. Nahuda Binti Zulkifli. As for my project is regarding wireless authentication mechanism. So currently it is hard to accurately detect and measure network usage in terms of usage duration as well as individual devices access to the network. Also, users tend to share passwords with other people, making it hard to limit access to network only to authorized users. Hence, this project attempts to implement the Radius architecture as the wireless authentication mechanism to the bookkeeping. The system will record the MAC address of users' devices. Okay. As for the objectives, is to develop and deploy a wireless authentication mechanism using Radius architecture and the bookkeeping system, and also to evaluate the performance and effectiveness of the authentication mechanism in a real environment. The network components of my project is there are three parts. There are three components which are captive portal, Radius architecture, and the user database. Basically, this is the diagram for the network. The red square is the captive portal, where the user connects to the access point, and then the access point as the client of the Radius contact the Radius server. The yellow square here is the Radius architecture, which handles authentication request and authentication acknowledgement. The Radius server checks with the user database and accounting database for user records before confirming the request to either accept or reject. So the blue square here is the databases. Okay, for ease of understanding, there are three flowcharts regarding my project. Flowchart for registered customer, flowchart for new customer, and flowchart for network admin. Okay, for registered customer, the flowchart is as a registered customer, they connect to the access point and they whether to log in or not. If they want to log in, they enter their ID and password check, details check, and then the customer may use the network. To use the network, they may log out and disconnect. And if at the beginning they decide not to log in, then they can just disconnect and end the flow. Next is for the flowchart for the new customer. Okay, for the new customer, it's just a bit different from the previous flowchart, which is for the new customer, they connect to the AP and they need to register. To register, they must contact the admin to register their details. After the registration is completed, they can proceed to log in. And so on, which is check the ID and password, and then may use the network, log out, disconnect, and end the flow. Okay, next for the network admin, the flowchart for network admin is first they connect to the IP, then they will decide whether they want to log in or not. If they want to log in, they will enter the admin details and the ID and password check, then they may use the network, log out, and end the flow. But if they don't decide not to log in, they can log into they can enter the administrator access tab to manage the database without connecting to the network, to the internet. So after they manage the database, they can choose to log out and end the flow. And lastly, this is the overall flowchart that combines all the three previous charts in one flowchart. This start here, user connect to IP, whether to log in or not. If you want to log in, enter the ID and password, check the details, and they may use the network, log out, disconnect, and end. But if they don't want to log in, we'll check if they want to register, or maybe they are new customer. So they will admin will register that new customer and proceed to this part and so on. When they want to register, maybe they are the admin, so they will choose whether to manage with the database or not. If yes, they manage database and then disconnect and end. And they don't want to manage the database, they may just disconnect and end the flow. For the aspects of testing, for my project, there are 4 aspects of testing. First, on the captive portal that achieve success, which is to test the captive portal using different devices to connect the network several times. Second is to on the user database successful access and entry changes, which is whether the admin can add, edit, view, and delete user entries and user records. And third, detect network usage duration of users. On this testing, the project will show how to detect user records, whether admin user or customer user, how to detect the records are in terms of start time and last activity time. Okay, and lastly, as an admin, disconnect a connected user. To ensure the removal of user occurs with the proper records done, such that when a user is made to disconnect, they surely disconnect, not just in record, but in everything. They do not disconnect. Okay. This here shows the setup of the before the testing. For the testing, as I mentioned earlier, the diagram is like this. Radius server, I use Radius. Radius use this part, and also I have this part. But for the captive portal part, I use pfSense, pfSense virtual machine. So for the testing, I use three virtual machines, which are pfSense virtual machine and 2 Ubuntu virtual machines. Okay, so as the initial setup, pfSense is set up, and as you can see here, pfSense is able to ping my computer's host machine, my Windows PC host machine, which is this address, and they are able to connect together. Next is on the Ubuntu first VM is the FreeRadius server. The FreeRadius server, and in this Ubuntu VM is the authentication server for the pfSense firewall. pfSense virtual machine firewall have the captive portal, and so when the user connects to the captive portal and they want to authenticate, the captive portal will check based on FreeRadius database. So here the Ubuntu virtual machine number 1, this is the configuration file for the client. Which is client name pfSense, where IP address 10.1.1.1, which is the LAN interface for the pfSense automation. Okay. Next, also on the Ubuntu virtual machine number 1, also this is the configuration file for users database, and here is one example that I have made, username admin with the password, and this is password, also the class of the user. So from here also at the admin can also add another additional users, in the same configuration file. This the second user is John, the password this is John. Okay, so to prove that the addition, the entry change in this user database is usable, is applied, we continue on to the next test, which is on captive authentication. This is the dashboard on the pfSense access tab, administrator access tab. The administrator access tab, there are system logs for the captive authentication, and as you can see here at the last entry, login from the captive authentication, accept the username admin with the MAC address of this and the IP address of 10.1.1.11, and also on the log also there is a log for captive authentication from the user John with this MAC address and the IP address of 10.1.1.12. So this proves that the captive hotel not also that is project but also can make changes to the user database, and also the captive hotel is working. Okay, next, after they pass the captive hotel without addition, so of course they can access the internet. So this is from the Ubuntu virtual machine number 1, which is the IP address is 10.1.1.11. So when trace route to the Google public DNS, which is 8.8.8.8, this is the result. The first hop is the pfSense virtual machine itself. So this shows that the pfSense is the first hop that connects the internet network to the rest of the internet until there is the DNS of Google. This is for the second Ubuntu virtual machine, which is the IP address is 10.1.1.12, and also the same trace back to Google public DNS 8.8.8.8, and the first hop is still the pfSense virtual machine, which acts as the firewall to the rest of the internet. Okay, next is on the test regarding the detail of the user record. As we can see here, the captive status it records the IP address of the user, the MAC address, the username, also the session start and last activity. The session start and last activity is recorded down to the seconds. This is the hour. This hour, this is the minute, and this is the second. It's at 32 hours 38 seconds. This is when the session start, and last activity detected is on this time. So this is how detailed the user records are. Also at the dashboard, I can show it here. At the dashboard, the records like this are updated in real time. And also next, when I log in using the username John, they also record the IP address, my address, session start, and last activity. This shows that the record is working and functional. Next, also on the more detailed record or more detailed log of the admin access tab, we can see here that the login, they will show accept, disconnect, and accept. What is the username, what is the MAC address, what is the IP address, and so on. Also, next is the test on when when the admin stops or disconnects the user from the network. Here actually this picture is cropped a bit. Actually this is here will be an icon of garbage can. An icon of garbage can. If the admin click this button, then the user will be disconnected from the network. So for example, if the admin click that button, the user will face with this small banner saying that they must log into the network before they can access the internet. And here is the button to open the login page, which is the captive button. Also, it is something to note that when the users successfully authenticated at the captive button, there will be a pop-up window, a small pop-up window. This is a zoom in picture. Actually, the pop-up window is just small. The pop-up window for logging out, So if the user want to disconnect from the network, they can click this button, the log out button, and they will disconnect from the network. So there are 4 tests that have been done. Which are captive button direction success, user progress changes, network user integration, which are detailed, and also disconnect connected user. So as a conclusion, other objectives are achieved. The system is able to limit the Wi-Fi network on different authorized users. On accurate records allow for detailed accounting. Also, the evaluation of the performance and effectiveness also yields successful results, as I have presented before. So this project may improve further in terms of several features, which are the capability to embed physical AP. As of the project, the PF-Sense with the machine cannot emulate physical access point. This causes several limitations in conducting the test and so on. This is because if the PF-Sense with the machine can emulate physical AP, there are several features that can be done, such as an additional interface and so on. Next is to enable user sign up from the captive portal. Currently, the captive portal does not enable user sign up from the captive portal. To sign up, the user can only contact the admin, so that only the admin can add the user to the user database. Next is having a more viable logout page. This is because the logout page appears as soon as the user finishes authenticating with the captive page, captive button. So when they want to log out, they may accidentally close the window before they realize what they are doing. Also, apart from that, the logout page is a pop-up, which is usually gets blocked by browsers. Usually, browsers block any pop-up windows, so that may hinder the usefulness or functionality of the logout page. Next is having OTP implementation. OTP, which is one-time password. As of this project, one-time password is supported, but it's not implemented in this project because the documentation from the free radius suite that is used in this project, the documentation says that the OTP module is outdated and is not advised to be utilized. So the OTP implementation is not implemented in this project. Next is having native support for dual MAC address records per user. If the authentication mechanism has native support for dual MAC address records per user, so the functionality will expand more, because when a user has two MAC addresses, so they can use two devices in the book cafe in order to use the internet, so they can work with more efficiency. So next and lastly, an automated calculation of usage duration. As you can see before, during the testing, the exact time of when they log in and also the last activity, the time is so detailed and so accurate down to the seconds. But even in the detailed log of the admin, there is no calculation. There is nothing is shown about the duration of the usage. So currently the admin can only manually calculate. So for how long the user has used the internet and so on. So those are the features that may be improved for this project. I think that's all for me. Thank you.